Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another video here today. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a coin I used to own, Weedcoin. Kind of as a playoff of Bitcoin, you've got Titcoin, you've got Buttcoin. Well, this is Weedcoin, and I did own this coin a while ago, back in early April of last year, and I did sell it for like a 12x. And so now the project is still alive. There is a team, possibly a CTO team, trying to push it. It is kind of the doldrums of crypto, a lot of these Solana culture coins, if you will. I've been doing some research on some of these lower cap Solana culture coins. Not a big Solana user myself, although I do admit the chain is easier to use than Ethereum. I've got like 4 main coins right now. We'll see if I'm able to hit on a few trades. Maybe I can have a few Solana coins. But Weedcoin, I do think it makes sense when you look at it. Number one, it is on CoinGecko, so you can see this is really not going to tell us much in terms of the chart, but the current market cap is 147K, so basically 150K is what it's sitting at. You take a look at the overall charts. This coin has been out for around a little bit over 7 months. Basically, what happened is this coin came onto the market in early April, in advance of 420, April 20th. And so the coin started chopping around. This is honestly where I bought it when it was around like 170, 180K. And the coin did a quick, what is that, a 10 to 15x all the way up to, I believe it wicked to around 2.7, $2.8 million. And so it's going through a massive retracement and kind of bleeding out ever since. The narrative is terrible. That it's terrible for Buttcoin, it's terrible for Titcoin, it's terrible for Weedcoin, but especially for Weedcoin, considering this is a coin that should do at least decent, we would hope, in March and April. Now, normally what happens with a coin like this that you could argue, and I know people will say, well, it's not dependent on 420, but in terms of what it's at right now, it kind of is dependent on 420. This coin needs to be bought during times like this, or even within the next like month or two, because people will start buying it really in like February, and then it'll really ramp up in March, and then by the time April 20th hits, it's going to be tanked. So it's like, it's always sell the news. It's how it always is. And you can kind of see the idea of it. It's branded very similar to Bitcoin with the same exact, it's got the cannabis, but it's the same exact coloring as Bitcoin. And it seemingly is hitting a low that it's hit at least one other time. Maybe it'll bleed even further. We'll have to see. But it is down significantly from a high of 2.7, 2.8 million. Now, when it comes to coins that are, or tend to be reliant on time frames, like every year this event happens, whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever, coins based around seasonal things. Normally, the first time they're released, they hit the all-time high and they never usurp it. However, this coin I think could be different, depending on what happens with the team now that they actually have a team pushing this, and the fact that it's been around almost 7-8 months at this point. You can see around 2,300 followers. And they are still putting things out. I think they are having, they have these spaces every day. So yeah, they're still putting stuff out. They've got a website here. Let's take a look at this. The website is still active. The domain is still there. And the Telegram is still active. Although I think it only has like 200 members or something like that. But I'm just saying coins like this probably will do well in like March, I would say. Hopefully it'll be a better time in the market in terms of the micro factors at play, because right now it's terrible. Or actually, it's not terrible. It should be good, but the sentiment is terrible. But like, we are getting the rate cuts, and people saying, well, is the cycle over? Nobody really knows. So we'll have to see. But I'm just saying, this is the type of coin where it's at 147K. It's like, it's hitting and kind of going linear off of its previous low of around 140K. And, it had went right around, because like, if you look at the exact timing, like you go by the 4-hour, you look at the exact timing of the pump, so it really starts pumping around the 11th or 12th, the 13th, and then all the way to the 18th, and then by the 20th it starts tanking. So it's like that final week leading into the 20th was a massive pump. Now it's retraced all the way back down to this area where it was back in April. And so in this April, I'm guessing it's probably going to be a bit higher than that, because this coin's established at least to a degree, and hopefully it'll be a better time and better sentiment in the market. But you look at coins like this, and you like seeing charts like this. You like seeing the big retracements. You see the community is still there. Obviously, the weed culture, I'm not a big user of that. I'm not a big fan of weed, but just the culture of it in general, you can understand there's a big following of it, and it is kind of a funny play off of Bitcoin, and it has the same branding. I mean, I like the branding of it, so we will have to see if this coin ends up doing anything. Not financial advice, obviously, but it's also, it's on CG, so I don't think it's on CMC. It costs a little bit more to get on CMC, but they do at least have it listed on CG, and so it does have an active X. We'll have to see, but either way, guys, just wanted to go over Weedcoin, and I am looking at more of these culture coins on Solana. I've got like 10 or 11 to where if I hit a trade maybe on Grok 5, or now I'm looking at Grok 420 because that's actually the next. Let me show you guys. The next Grok that's coming out, believe it or not, is the Grok 420 that hasn't really been talked about at all by Musk. You can see Grok 420 right here. And so this is a coin now that's sitting at 81K, and I've been looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, they're saying it's going to release in November, but Musk isn't talking about it at all. Is this the next AI Grok to get into? Because they do all these variations. I talked about Grok 5 in a previous video. I am in Grok 5, but Grok 5 is not coming out probably until January. So, but there is going to be hype and a lead into that, and you would imagine it would do something. But the Grok 420 coin could be interesting if it actually gets released soon. It could be an immediate trade, depending. So, yeah, this is Grok 420, as you can see, the CTO there. And the coin, I mean, I think it had more hype in August when it was at like 250, 260, and it was able to maintain that level, mainly because Musk was talking about it. He stopped talking about it, but from what I see, they're still going to be releasing. The next release should be the Grok 420, and then the release after that is the Grok 5. And normally they release these new versions within like 4 or 5 months of each other, because it's an arm race with ChatGPT 5.1. We're still waiting for DeepSeek. By the way, DeepSeek is another interesting one to look at, and I don't want to turn it into this AI thing, but I do like looking at these coins because, so you've got the main DeepSeek coin all the way down at 100K. We don't know what's going on with DeepSeek and their R2 version. Now, if you remember last year in mid-January, they released their first variation, and it shocked everyone. This coin went to 50 million. Obviously, that's not going to happen again if they release another model. But if you look at it and see, what are we doing here? Why is it so distorted? If you look at the chart here, you could see, this is a thing to where if they randomly release maybe in January their R2 version, you're looking at maybe a few $1 million. Maybe it shocks everyone. I'm not saying it's going to go to $60 million, but now it's retraced all the way down to 100K. There was some hope that they were going to release it here or here, and so it goes up to 300 or 400K. Well, now it's retraced all the way. These are like some interesting trades to look at. And you can see it's hitting new lows now. So even DeepSeek could be, and this is the main DeepSeek coin. Now, there's also a DeepSeek R2 coin, but let me see, I think it's just called R2. It's not going to show up, whatever, but it's at like 25K. It's completely tanked. I don't know if that coin would do well, because I'm not even sure if they're going to release R2 or they're releasing like V3 or something before then. But even the DeepSeek coin is an interesting one to look at, like these AI models. But I think this Grok 420, and believe it or not, Weedcoin. I mean, Weedcoin is a different thing entirely, but it probably is a trade if we're being honest. This is the problem with Solana. All these coins are trades, because it's like, do we really think these coins are going to go to like 100 million or 200 million? Like Weedcoin, obviously you're buying right now because 420 is going to happen in 6 months, and there's going to be a sediment, and hopefully it'll go, even if it goes back up to highs, I mean, at least you're getting like a 15x off of it. But it's like a trade, and I don't like trades. That's why I really don't own Solana coins, except for like the AI coins like Grok 5 or Grok 420 to try and make like $2,000 or $3,000 off of a trade or something, basically. So yeah, that's basically it. But either way, guys, this is not financial advice. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you like the video down below. Thank you for watching.